Hello and welcome back to an episode of Bantz with Lawrencia. How are you all doing? I hope you're doing great. For today's episode, we're going to be talking about a sad situation whereby a wife allegedly set her husband ablaze and he died from his injuries. Now, let me just get the name right. The husband is a doctor and the wife... the husband was a doctor and the wife was a nurse. So the husband's name was Lieutenant Dr. Samson Haruna, while the wife is Nurse Retit Dalong. This is a very sad one because people go into marriages and without really understanding each other. People think that marriage is all about the wedding. They had a very beautiful wedding. They looked amazing. The wife was dancing, happy, just living life. Both of them were actually happy on their wedding day. They looked amazing. They did pre-wedding pictures. A military man marrying a nurse. He was also a doctor. So you could imagine these are people from at least a very balanced background. They got married. They are both very young. I think she's 32 and he's maybe 35 or around that age. They were married for about less than 6 months and this has happened. Now, according to the story, the wife said that she got married to the husband and there's DV, domestic violence involved. She said she lost a pregnancy. And she complained, but nobody was willing to listen. She said that even the neighbors knew about their situation. She said she was just, on that fateful day, they started arguing as usual. And then he called his brother. And according to her, the brother told him to move out of the house or to move her out of the house. She was not willing to leave the house. So the brother told him to move into a different bedroom. So according to her, he got a mattress and moved into their store. Nigerian families or Nigerian homes, they have generators and they have fuel that they used in powering those generators. So him moving into the store, according to her, there's a gallon of fuel lying somewhere there. And I don't know how a fuel in a gallon that is locked will just pour on the floor, and I don't know. But according to her, she said that when he was moving everything into the store, basically a store is like an extra room where you store things, So when he was moving everything into the store, she said he kicked the gallon contents, the fuel spilled. So he was now threatening to set the whole house ablaze. And when she said she was trying to get him he held a lighter. So according to her, he thought that the lighter was not working. Maybe he had tried using it before and it wasn't working. Smokers, I don't know. So she said he thought that the lighter was not working, but he went ahead to trying to light it up. So she said she was telling him not to light it up, that she was going to, record him and put him on TikTok. She said she was just saying all these things. But when he was getting serious, she said she called his supervisor. And then the supervisor did not pick her call or did not respond or something like that. And he was still going ahead with that. And then he light up the match and boom, there was fire. He was burned. He was taken to the hospital, and I think last month, it happened 22nd of September, and on Tuesday he died 2 days ago. Now, when the incident happened, she was, arrested, taken to the army barracks where they were doing the investigation. They asked what happened. He was explaining. He said that she didn't do anything to him. But according to her, his family members were saying that no, she is a problem. They should detain her or something. And now that he has died. Anyway, there was a video or there was an audio that somebody recorded when they were asking her what had happened to her husband. She was now explaining because she was detained about 14 days and then released. Let me just play that video for you to listen to what she had to say.
On the 21st, on the 22nd, the 22nd of September, he came and dropped me off from work. His elder brother asked him to pack his things from the room and leave me or frustrate me. When I'm frustrated, I'll leave the room. So he bought a new mattress and then he packed to another room to the store. The store had fuel and other things inside. So while he was packing, he accidentally hit the fuel. When he hit the fuel poured in the house. So he has beaten me on so many occasions that I even had miscarriage. So he was threatening me with lighter that he's going to set me if my parents don't come to carry me. She they are bug of in the coverage. They are bug as Yazba. Say don't light and the buyer ake. I'm coming in our son. I'm going to set you ablaze. If she was joking, they say light and I ake.
So she was just explaining that in Hausa, basically, she said that they were having a fight. His brother told him to frustrate her. In fact, listen, she said he kicked the lighter or the fuel and then light himself up.
I called the commanding officer. She said, this man is going to set us up. I called him 3 times. See investigation team. They checked my phone. They saw that I truly called you. This man is being set us ablaze. She and I come in. I was the light and so you light and now function. They asked me why I ending call movies like picking so wrong call Simba. Next morning I be a calm water. Ya kama wuta makuma karami mun so bakin kofa. I wish I really said, and I was even threatening him. I said I'm going to put this in live on TikTok. But so many I was just joking about it. But so, I often carry my phone. I said I'm going to put this thing live on TikTok. But on TikTok. So depriving dinara it's to manage. Okay, if you put thing, what I'm supposed to be in the story, then you push cooperate.
I'm out is sharp.
Who is achievable? Think so going to this That's how I'm a civilian. You are not supposed to treat me like that. I'm not your personnel. I'm a civilian. You should treat me like a civilian. Okay, hand me over to police. Let police come and see what happened. They were protecting Amini. Swinking. So long dinner I got room for 13 days, I'll be 12 days. I need to know whether I will just say I'm not feeling fine so that I'll leave the garage. It's an investigation process. Let me not influence their process. But anybody see government investigation not to so government investigation, I am not guilty. Why people still holding me there? Why people still holding me there when I'm not guilty? Even my husband told you people I did not do anything wrong. My husband knew that I didn't do him anything wrong. And he knew why I was keeping quiet so that his job will not be at stake.
Wow.
But he kept sending people to ask how am I, they should take care of me. So those not the meaning how am I. Now so that is his own way of telling me, calm down, everything will be fine. If you want to treat somebody as a civilian, treat them as a civilian. It's not a banning wahala for no reason.
This is sad. This is sad because a young man, a young doctor, a young lieutenant has just lost his life because of domestic violence. Whatever the situation was, or whatever the situation is, or whatever the situation will be in the context of a marriage, people should always leave. I always say, listen, before you get married, know how to resolve conflicts. Before you get married, make sure that the person you're getting married to is normal. Because we see a lot of successful people who are not normal. We see a lot of successful people who have, very successful careers, but they are not okay. These two people obviously are not good for each other. Because if you've been married for less than 6 months and already, you have lost a pregnancy due to domestic violence, then I think there's something wrong. I believe that maybe marriage, at least the first year, should be honeymoon if you did it right. Because one of the other problem is money. Most time people get married, they get in debt, because of the wedding they are trying to have, they want to have like a lavish wedding. Their wedding looks very beautiful or look beautiful. They had a very, kind of societal wedding based on their standard. But if they had borrowed money to do that wedding, or if they had emptied their accounts to ensure that they had that dream wedding or whatever kind of wedding that they wanted, and then they're getting into this marriage and there's no money, obviously there's going to be quarrel, there's going to be fight, there's going to be issues. And this brings me back to the situation between IVD and Bimbo. This was also something similar. IVD and Bimbo were having problems. IVD decided to take back the house because according to IVD, he bought the house. So Bimbo was like, I will not leave the house. Instead, I will burn down the house, allegedly. So Bimbo allegedly bought fuel, bought petrol, whatever you want to call it, decided to burn down the house. She was pouring the petrol everywhere. And when she lights, because you're angry, you're pouring things allegedly, some of them, those things is going to get on you. I mean, you're holding, that's why in movies, the way I see the burn down houses is maybe they'll go in, they will spray the petrol wherever they want, and then they will kind of like trace a line backward where they will be outside and then light up the matches, and then the fire will run inside and burn whatever they want to burn. But if you're inside there with a very flammable liquid, which you're pouring with your hands, obviously some of them will get on your hands, it's very easy for that. Even the smell can attract that fire and you're going to get burned. Allegedly, that was what happened to Bimbo. Bimbo was burned beyond recognition. She was taken to the hospital. She died a painful death. And now this is allegedly the situation with Lieutenant Haruna. But the family and the army people are saying that the wife allegedly set him ablaze. They are not believing her story, saying that he went into the store, he was trying to set up a bed, he then kicked the fuel container, which now poured on the floor, and he was okay, let's say he poured on the floor. I don't know how that got on him, because I don't know. I have no idea. But if she is insisting that she didn't do this, and they have carried out their investigation, because she said she was arrested and detained for about 14 days and then released. So if they had done their investigation and then released her, I think maybe people shouldn't say she's responsible. I don't know. Because this is a very, very, very complicated matter. It sounds straightforward. It sounds easy. But if your own family member is involved in this kind of thing, that is when you realize how complicated it is. Because she might just be saying the truth. He may just want to threaten her. Some people will threaten to end their lives if somebody is leaving. But in this case, I think what she said was that his brother told her to frustrate her to leave the house. I mean, if it has gotten to that point within 6 months of marriage, where a sibling is your husband's sibling is telling him to frustrate you out of that house, babe, leave. You have a job. I understand that marriage to Nigerian women is a badge of honor. You don't want to leave because you don't want people to say you got married and then you left the marriage. I understand that. But at the same time, is it worth it? Is it worth it to just get married to somebody just to tick that box and then you live in a box? Or you live as a murderer? When they say this generation now don't want to get married, people think, we're being selfish. people think, we're just thinking about ourselves. Most people are not normal. Most people did not grow up normal. Your normal for you might be abnormal for somebody else. And if for whatever reason you get to align with that person, you have to be able to walk away at the drop of a pin if you see that that is getting volatile. Just imagine you get married to somebody, within 6 months, you've already lost pregnancy due to domestic violence. And within 6 months, your husband has already allegedly set himself ablaze. I mean, just imagine. This is sad. May his soul rest in peace. The army released information saying that they condemn the murder. I mean, if they said a murder, then I don't know, because she's still free. Maybe they released her before he died, and now that he's dead, maybe she's going to be rearrested. I don't know. But my brothers and sisters, marriage is not a do or die affair. If you're getting married to somebody who you know has anger issues, abort mission. If you're going to get married to somebody who does not align with your goals, abort mission. Because at the end of the day, if you decide to get married to that person, there's always going to be arguments, unless you are willing to do everything separately. Have a separate account, and then in that situation, then you're going to have kids and you're going to be fighting on a daily basis because of those kids. For marriage to work, you have to align financially, you have to align physically, you have to align mentally, you have to align emotionally. Gone are the days where women will just sit down and take BS. Or gone are the days when men will just sit down and just be the provider and work themselves to death. Our generation right now is saying that I want better, both man and woman. If you want better, pick better. If you want better, do your due diligence before you marry anybody. He's a doctor is not a guarantee that he's nice. She's a nurse is not a guarantee that she can take care of you. Anyway, let me know what you think. Do you think that she is just trying to save herself by saying that he set himself ablaze? Or do you think that he was that mentally out there that he would pour petrol and set himself ablaze? Do you find that plausible? Let me know what you think. Thank you very much for watching today's episode. Please like and share. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.